Is zina the only thing that's forbidden in the realm of sexuality? So there's a ruling or a principle actually in Islamic law which says all things are permissible by default. Al-aslu fil ashya' al-ibaha, that everything that a human being could do is by default permissible unless revelation has come and specifically prohibited it. But when it comes to sexuality and sexual behavior, it's the opposite principle. Sexual matters are forbidden by default. They're haram unless they're specifically permitted. So sexual behavior by default is not permitted, except where it has been specifically legislated and permitted. And where is that? Sexual relations between a man and a woman bound by an Islamically valid contract of marriage. It says in the Quran, except your spouses and those whom your right hands possess. In our day, this category doesn't exist. It's spouses. So I put here, valid contract of marriage, right? Valid, Islamically valid contract, marriage contract between a man and a woman. So what is prohibited? Everything else, okay? So if you're not man and woman, you're not married, then any sexual activity, or if you're obviously two men or two women, you can't be a man and a woman married if you're two men and two women, right? So everything else would be prohibited. Sexual acts short of intercourse, right? If you're not within that relationship. Anal intercourse, categorically prohibited even between a man and a woman in marriage.
That prohibition on liwat or anal intercourse is for all people, not just for gays. It's for
exactly, absolutely. It's a blanket prohibition, right? The rectal cavity is not the place where the male organ was designed to go. Period. I mean, again, we believe these things were designed with a purpose.
It's common sense when you think about it, but yeah, indeed.
Right. It's not meant to go there, and it's considered a gross misuse of the body to put it there, and so it's not permitted even between a husband and wife. And then exposing one's awra or one's private parts to other than one's spouse without need, such as medical and so forth. And we know the awra for the man is from the navel to the knee, and for the woman, there's different levels of it, all of the body except the face and hands in front of non-marriageable males, a more relaxed awra in front of family members and women and so forth. But the idea is that you cover your body, especially your primary sex organs, you don't uncover them except in it for need, right? So Muslims don't have, are not supposed to have like open kind of locker rooms and people walking around naked and so forth. This would be considered a breach of Islamic morals and etiquette. Masturbation, according to the majority, also prohibited. So solo sex. So the idea here is that sex is meant to be somehow by design to be inherently heterosexual, obviously, men and women, but also inherently interactive, right? And so engaging in sexual behavior by oneself, according to the majority, right, there's some discussion about it, is also prohibited, right? Obviously, this has nothing to do with consent because, actions like that are obviously consensual. I mean, zina also is consensual. So this modern fixation on consent is not relevant. I'm not saying you can force someone to have sex with you. But I'm just saying the presence of consent does not render a sexual act licit if it's otherwise prohibited. That would be ridiculous. And so in addition, anything that leads systematically, or that systematically threatens to lead to illicit relations, like touching, gazing, with the eyes, khalwa, being alone, with a person of the opposite sex, immodest speech, dress or behavior, all of these things are also prohibited because they can lead down this very slippery slope. And it says in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. It doesn't just say don't commit zina, it says don't even come close to zina, don't even get near it.